Hey, there you are. It's funny. I've been talking for like a minute because it's the holiday hangover. Yay! And no, there was no booze involved. It was just all about the fun and merriment that comes from that period, like the day or two before Thanksgiving, all the way to where we are now. Yay! I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas. But yeah, it's December 26th. It's time to stop and reset to everyone who did have to go back into the office today, the day after Christmas. Again, as that's been the thing, unless you're like me and I'm going to embrace the president's executive order of turning December 26th into a holiday. That's what I'm doing. I'm actually going to make it a full 3 day weekend. That's what's happening here. And yeah, that's going to be the thing for me. I promise you. So let me do a quick little edit here. And yeah, it's fun like that. And I tell you what, I haven't actually taken a mindful, intentional 3 day weekend until now. It's been quite the run. Hey, there he is. Um, hey, there I am. Okay, so just give a little love to Gar and Damien. It's funny. It's like the way the show has evolved and you guys have shown up. You've got the opportunity to really embrace the roles of like Waldorf and Astoria, Astoria. The two old puppets named after the motels or hotels in the Muppet Show. You're up there, right there in the and the and the John Wilkes Booth seats. So do your thing. No, I shouldn't have said it like that. Anyway, good morning. It's so funny. It's like I don't drink anymore. I haven't drank. I haven't even had like that casual drink in years. And I can tell you, maybe it's possibly because um, um, I the type two, and then a couple desserts that I couldn't turn down just to try. Didn't go buck wild. And that blood sugar thing, and it's basically the same thing as getting liquored up, but without the hangover ish. Well, not the dehydration hangover. How about that? So maybe that's it. I don't know, but I slept in a little bit this morning. Um, yeah, see, there you go. And this is why we all deserve the 3 day weekend aspect of post Christmas. Period. It's like it just needs to happen because I know I'm going to reset. That's what I'm doing, and I'm going to make Caitlin do, and I'm going to make Alicia do, and that way when we come back with Monday for the real business side of things, the full on. I mean, if there's an email that comes across that I finally got a response to, I'll maybe touch it. Because if they waited that long to get back with me, they can wait a couple days for me to get back with him. Oh man, but I am definitely glad that it's all kind of sort of done now. So let's see here if I need to, if I can do. There we go. So, but yeah, so what did happen over this whole period? Now, one thing I did do was the free ebook promo, and I got to tell you, it was gangbusters compared to. See, I've done the free book promo thing, I think twice earlier this year. Well, I say earlier; it was only just a couple months ago, or over the span of the last few months. I've done it. Number one, I'd never done one as far as like using the Kindle and the Amazon platform. Never done that. So, because the first time was it actually it picked up a couple books getting downloaded. The second one was like a total bust, and I'm like, damn it, what did I do wrong? And so went back and assessed, and I'm still not 100% sure what I did wrong, other than I didn't push. I wasn't doing this, and I also wasn't pushing as on all of the socials and posts. So now at the end of the day, how'd it go? Well, all total, when we look at the month of December, 38 books. That's massive compared to zero. Very happy with that because now it's a matter of, it's like anything. Perspective is key. Like there's still that one part of me that's like, 38, huh? But you know what? It's 38 that are now in front of the eyeballs of someone else. I'm very happy with that. It's huge because again, anything you can do once, you can scale it to like a billion. You could do it. You could totally do it. It's the thing there. Yep. Now there you go. So not since 1985 except for Kool-Aid, which is a non-alcoholic beverage, but at the same time, refreshing, enjoyable, and the life of the party. And there you go, Damien. Not a drinker. So, I used to be. I will not lie to anyone. I will not necessarily encourage that behavior and lifestyle, but mine was just from always. I say, growing up with my family and the way things were, and primarily on my dad's side, it's like beer was just the thing. It was always there. Period. It was a thing. If there was a get together, you can guarantee there's at least a case, right, of beer, and it was just a lifestyle thing. And I'm not going to say good, I'm not going to say bad. It was just the thing at that time. And that's, of course, back in the 70s, 80s. I was telling you this story yesterday about Schlitz that evolved into Old Milwaukee. It was like my dad's personal favorite. But I think he quit drinking as far as in any kind of regular, like, celebratory thing. Probably, oh gosh, it was probably around 2004 ish, or maybe even earlier. As far as like, it's like we would have a beer together, or a couple beers, or a couple beers, but we didn't. But it kind of just fell the wayside, And yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of funny, just the way society changes, people change, and seeing. I don't know if you guys saw this, but like for this coming 2026, Jim Beam is actually closing down one of their primary distilleries in Tennessee. That was a shocker to me. So, I was like, wow. And I think there are a lot of different reasons that they're citing that, as far as like either the tariffs, okay? But then just people don't drink anymore like they used to. The casual, I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like any of the, well, now in fairness, I haven't really done like a lot of events and things like that in the past year. But even prior to, like, where there's been an open bar, not a whole lot going on with that anymore. Bar life as a whole, again, I've been out of that for a very long time. I mean, the only time that I used to like, I never really even, God, I haven't done that in so long. I There might have been in the very early part of the 21st century that a buddy of mine, we had developed one, we'll call it a habit/pattern, where we go at this joint in downtown Little Rock. Um, it was Fox and Hound. Sounded so uppity, and it was kind of an uppity place. They wanted it to be an uppity place, but we would go out there. We had this one designated day of the week, and we go out there and we do like their around the world beers stuff, just cause. Um, but that was it, and because since then I really haven't. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Again, if you guys aren't watching or reading the comments here, and you're tuning in to like the recorded aspect of this, the playback version, you're missing out. Be a part of the thing. But I understand, though, again, folks who can actually watch this thing live are a very special breed. Number one, they're probably the most awesome people you'd ever meet. And number two, they've joined in this coffee habit with me, which is a great way to start the day. Especially, I'll be honest with you, I slept in more today. Well, once again, it's so funny. It makes us sound like we're tearing it up last night, man. No, not really. Because again, we just live a mile down the road from my in-laws, Alicia's parents, and it's easier to stay later, because we're just right there, and we did, and we watched. Well, Caitlin and I caught the first two episodes of this new Stranger Things season 5 episode drop. And it was interesting. No spoilers. Not even going to talk about it. Either you like the show and you're a fan, or you're not and you don't. So it's another one of those things to where reviews are always subjective, as far as I'm concerned. If you're the person who has taken the time to create something like television or movies or music, I'm not one to knock too much, because my opinion is my opinion. Unless it's something just absolutely don't waste your money on, I will encourage you to like go bootleg it maybe if you're really curious. But um, otherwise, it's your opinion, my opinion, tastes, they're different, you know. So I don't care to influence that in any way, unless it is just so horrible. And yeah, that's about it. But they kept us there late, and then and Alicia actually had fell asleep. Don't tell her. But she has been such a super trooper mom and daughter and wife throughout this whole holiday run. I'm actually going to make sure she just does nothing today. Same thing with Caitlin. Nothing today. This is it. Having coffee with you is the only priority on my day. Period. And so, um, yeah, it's like with Stranger Things, it's one of those things that a friend of mine, who I trust dearly with pop culture things, she had told me back in, I guess it was in 2019, she got tapped into it and she's like, you got to see this. This is great. This is awesome. And that's when the hype machine was really running behind it. And I was still in that, what's the word I'm looking for? If anything's got a lot of hype behind it, I just avoid it. I'll read the headlines about it, so I'm like familiar with it as a thing that exists. But I normally never jump on bandwagons. I think that's that anti-authoritarian thing, that nonconformist aspect of my personality, and it's like, yeah, I'll wait. I'm good. I don't care. And so it's like I'm very seldom, if ever, influenced by advertising, marketing, and promotions. That's another reason why I I got into it. Or mainly I got into it because I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed the campaigns. I enjoy what they're attempting to do as far as attempting to educate you or sell you or whatever. I love that part. But I also know the game, and I just don't go into it. I just I can wait. And I think the last true hype machine that I got caught up in would have been when they started doing the new Star Wars movies with the sequel trilogy. Boy, I was all in there, but that was different because that dated back so long ago, and then the break, and then coming back with the prequels, and I enjoyed them. I did. I mean, there were people who complained, and now in hindsight, I really appreciate them because again, here's one of the things that okay, here's that line, not being a hypocrite. It's just the Star Wars sequel trilogy is just so horrible on so many levels that it's not only about the money at the box office or the Blu-rays, DVDs, and all those things, but it's just horrible. It's just a horrible story. I mean, somebody thinks it's good. God bless you. But it's just a horrible thing. So I'll tell you to stay away from that. There you go. That impacted everything else Star Wars for me that came from the Disney Lucasfilm thing that they do. I don't like it. I think it's to have like one of the biggest brands and franchises in the history of ever. And totally, I never dreamed that Star Wars would become a dead IP, but it is. It really, really is. Kids were not clamoring for Star Wars toys this Christmas. And that's not even going into the yeah, there you go. See, yeah, the X Files. See, I think I watched the X Files at the time when it first came out. Excuse me, primarily because Fox was still so new, and I was just enjoying seeing what the Fox network had to offer because everything was so different and new as they were coming up with something that was such a game changer with competing with ABC, NBC, and CBS at a time when nobody did that, you know. So but I never was a big fan. I enjoyed the show ish for like the first couple seasons, but then I don't know, it just kept going off the rails too much. There you go. That's great, Damien. Just play BattleTech computer games all day long. That's awesome. Best way to go. Best way to go. Yeah, Stranger Things too. Yeah. So I just catching up with everybody. But yeah, it's like it's just funny. I've avoided the hype machines a lot. I don't know. I guess it just stems back to like when you're a kid and then like well I don't know about now. I don't know how anything of this works now. Again, we homeschool Caitlin, so that public school influence train never been a thing. Thankfully, with the homeschool thing and the way in which we've encouraged her to If she has a question, she asks us, and if we can't answer it properly or deep enough, she'll go get it herself now. I've taught my daughter how to critical think. I won. That's it. As a human being, and however you want to look at it, but as a human being charged with, you know, propagating the species and moving on, I think I've done a good job in that. Of course, with Alicia, duh. But at the same time, it's like my focus, and I'm telling you, I worked this into the system of what we were doing with our child, is that I wanted her to be able to think, ask questions, and not in that manner that is in that rebellious way. No, no, it's in that whole let's make life better by knowledge and make your own decision on other things. Like the things that normally when we grow up, like religion and such is always pretty much here it is. We didn't do that with her. And I'm very glad because now when it comes to her perspectives on that side of life, she's formed her own understanding. And I'm very happy with that. And Caitlin Sesame Street shows. Nah, not really. They didn't do much for her. She she had a thing for Grover when she was little. But then again, so did I. But then again, she never really watched any of the Sesame Street stuff. It just never was. It just didn't resonate with her. She got She had her other favorites. You know, that was a great. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. Yep. See, Damien, you and I are on the exact same page when it comes to Star Wars. And Gar, I don't know how you do it. I just don't. But then again, you're truly in our circle the king of the B and even C movies. But I would have to classify the new Star Wars as like an F movie. I mean, it's just damn it if they. I mean, to have the kingdom, the ultimate kingdom to play with in story and everything else, and to come up with things that are just not good story. They're just not. And it's like I love like those arguments that you'll see online. Well, just because it doesn't have a Skywalker doesn't mean it can't be Star Wars. Oh, well, actually. But the thing is, it's like, okay, it doesn't have a Star Wars, or it doesn't have a Skywalker. Well, write a good story. Rogue One, they took that one line from the opening crawl of A New Hope, the battle plans, but nobody mentioned a Bothan in Rogue One that I recall. I have to watch it. I don't know. I tried to watch it again the other day, which I still love. Rogue One. It was a great movie. It was a war film that happened to be in Star Wars, right? Good story. But nobody mentioned anybody being a Bothan. Anybody remember that? If you know, you know. But I don't know that. I don't remember them actually saying it. But again, the Disney's. I think the one that was like the straw that broke the camel's back for me. That I was like, okay, no more, no more, no more. I enjoyed The Mandalorian season one. That was clever, and then the big reveal with little baby Yoda, aka Grogu. Got on that. I just loved it. I thought it was a great, fun, caught me out of left guard. And season two, of course, because we got that. You know, that was a great payoff. Um, but then it just kind of just petered out, and I never did bother with three. And I don't think there's a four yet, or that one's going to be a movie or whatever. But when they did the Book of Boba Fett, you talk about not just a missed opportunity, but a deliberate let's destroy the Star Wars franchise 100% because the movies were bad. But boy, that damn show there, the Book of Boba Fett. Well, see, and that's the thing too, Gar. It's like when we look back on the original Star Wars trilogy, we finally get Han, Luke, and Leia back together, and then they never got back together as a trio on screen at all. And then, of course, we lost Carrie Fisher, which doesn't matter anymore. But what they did with all the characters was just so stupid. It was like, why would you do this? The big, again, archetypes of the hero. All three of them went through their hero's journey in the original trilogy. And that's why it worked, right? And then they bring them back, and everything that was learned was lost. And then it was just so stupid. I mean, really? Han Solo's a deadbeat dad? Really? Luke Skywalker's like, "Oh, I fought hard to redeem the Jedi and bring them back, and you know what? Now I'm just going to drink green titty milk from this crazy alien on the side of a cliff. Yeah, and throw away the lightsaber that my dad built that you used to cut off my hand. Stupid. Just dumb. Nothing about it was good. And then again, with Carrie Fisher giving her the Mary Poppins scene, pay tribute to your mama. Okay, I get it. But in Star Wars, in space, super duper floating space Jedi powers, it was so dumb. Just dumb. Exactly. Don't break up the glue that works. Gar said it perfectly. But now here's the thing. They did it with like all the franchises. But thankfully Ghostbusters turned it around. And I will give props to Dan Aykroyd on that one I will absolutely throw him under the bus, and because the Ghostbusters reboot they did with the four women, if you can call them that was horrible. Absolutely horrible, horrible film. But Dan Aykroyd is smart enough to go, oh boy, we dropped the ball here, and he brought back the original crew as best he could, and it worked out great because again, it was a good continuation of story. Now, whether you like it or not is a matter of opinion, but it made sense, as you can make sense inside of, fiction. But it was great. I enjoyed it. The last movie, I enjoyed it, but it was a little boring. But that happens. Boring is okay. But they did good with that. But anyway, I don't even know how the hell we went in that direction. I don't know, because this is the holiday recovery period. And again, taking the 3-day weekend, and I got like my stack of notes here in my little things that I've jotted down that I need to go back in and reorganize and move forward. Now, one of the things to give you a heads up, moving into 2026, and again, what I've seen now, just in this past month, the evolution and implementation of the AI sphere that is growing. If anything, I want to do my part in kind of just keeping people. I put it like that. I don't know. There's a lot of folks who do not want to follow that information, do not want to do anything with it. But I'm going to do my part to at least give you a update of some sort, or a thing to watch out for or be aware of as we go. Not long things. That's still on you. I'm not going to force that down your throat. But at least plant a seed to where you're aware, because you need to know, because things are going to be completely different in a year. Does that mean we're going to have robots walking around? Probably not yet. But by like say 2030 and jumping, I would be surprised if by 2030, which is only 4 years away, that we wouldn't see homes all across the world with at least one robot in them. It's for real. And it's like, at one point, that was like an exciting thing. We'd all have our own R2D2 or C3PO rolling around doing the thing with us. Well, but now that it's actually here, we're kind of like, wait. Oh, snaps. Yeah, the loss of Harold Ramis there. But I like how they handled that. That was sweet. That was sweet the way they did that with Egon. I like that a lot. Yeah, the human. Well, but what I mean, Gar, as far as humanoid robots in the house, I mean, like really as common as the microwave, or everybody's got one. A DVD player, Blu-ray, whatever. They're just here, just as common as a car. And I think we're close to that. Well, I think that, there might be some units that you can buy now, but I don't know for sure if there's an actual commercial off the rack model yet. I don't think that's there. Not like the full humanoid ones. But they'll be here. There's no doubt about it. Unless something, again, there's always the possibility that everything could completely change and go back to the Stone Age. But I think that, but I see the usefulness in that tool, because again, if you can't get around very well, or need that extra set of hands, great. And from what I understand, though, because Elon Musk is shooting for, with his particular like Optimus robots, of a retail of around like 20 grand, which is not bad at all. It's like super cheap compared to, I mean, cars nowadays are like 50 grand for a car. It's like, what? Okay. So 20 grand is absolutely super doable for just about anyone. I mean, you could break that down over the span of the year and pay one of those off. But at the same time, it's an interesting proposition, because it's not the tech, it's not what it can do for us, it's who's running the tech. And there's the problem. Like that thing with San Francisco, because I didn't really think about this the other day. Because again, where I am, those major metropolitan cities problems are nowhere near me, right? I'm aware of those things out there, or so they say that they're out there. But now here was the problem that, like in San Francisco, that pointed out. Did you follow any of that story? But like in San Francisco, when they had that big power grid thing that happened, whatever it was, I don't know what the final word was, but main thing is 138,000 people, I think it was, were without power in San Francisco. The problem with being out of power in a town or in a city such as that is that like they have the autonomous cars. Well, when the power went down in the city, the autonomous cars had a stroke because they were still running, but there were no street lights or any of the things that the thing was trained on to like interact with and know how society works. So I personally think it would have made sense to go ahead and plan whenever the sensors detect like a power outage situation to be able to just disable the car, pull it over to the side, stop it, shut it down until things change. But that didn't happen. So there is some video out there of like where they're still like the cars are going around, but they're kind of freaking out because they can't respond properly because the things they normally respond to aren't there. And so that was interesting. I didn't think about that. Yeah, the three laws. Yeah, the three laws. Well, here's the thing with the three laws. And again, if you're not following this, one of the comments that will definitely it kind of shoots a little terror up your spine. That with the robots and as they come, they'll be great for preventing crime. Even though the AI now has got us so pegged, they're not reading your mind, but they can damn sure track your intentions. They can do it. I mean, it's just true. Um, Not 100% though. They're not that great, but at the same time, I'd give them a good 75%. You know, this is how they can feed you the information that they're pretty sure you like. Yeah, they are normally right, but the pre-crime stuff, like what was that flick with Tom Cruise? Oh damn it, things are escaping me this morning. The Doesn't matter. You probably know it, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, the pre-crime stuff to where, and Elon Musk said this. I saw the clip. Okay, I hope I saw the real Elon Musk and not an AI generated video. We don't know. But no, I'm pretty sure this was the real deal. But he had made the comment that the best thing about like when it comes to like the Optimus robots, and then they'll be in your home, and they won't stop crime, but they can prevent crime if they see you doing something. Wait, what? Yeah. So if you got your robot in your house, and let's say they make this is just for fun, but let's say they make certain words, just in general, we're talking like swear words, the 4-letter ones. You don't need to say this one anymore. So don't say it. But you got your robot that can hear everything around it, all throughout the entire house and neighborhood. And as soon as you say one of those, you bang your finger and you say, "Ah, shit." All right. Well, then the robot comes over with the swear jar and says, "Please deposit 25 digital credits or whatever." Um, yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. And that'll never be abused. No, 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 no. Minority Report. That's it. Thank you, Damien. Couldn't remember the name of that damn thing for a while. I don't know where my head was going with that. But yeah, Minority Report. But that's a part of the conversation with these things. We will cut down on crime. It's just like with digital currency. You know, well, if you don't have cash on you, you don't have to worry about getting mugged. That's kind of true because if they take your cards, they've got a very brief window before those cards are worthless, right? Problem is, that same thing can happen to you quickly. How do I know? Because I've had it happen. Not getting mugged and somebody taking my stuff, but having a glitch in the system that cuts you away from that money. Money, those ones and zeros. Because I know years ago when I was doing more selling steps online, at one point PayPal decided I didn't need access to that stash of cash or stash of ones and zeros that I had in the PayPal account. And Alicia and I we were out. It was around Christmas actually, and we were doing some Christmas shopping. They decided at that point that I didn't need access to that. That was just crazy talk for me. And that sucked a lot because I was socking everything away over there in that PayPal account with the things that I was doing for that purpose. Couldn't get to it. I was pissed. So, put another 5 digital shekels in the swear jar. Um, But yeah, that sucked. But we had a similar thing happen this past weekend, and it sucked out loud. And the problem is for whatever hiccup was inside of the system, which in itself was bad. It was like not recognizing retailers, one big, one small, and the big one we were able to correct real fast. I was getting gas at Murphy, right? Got that corrected real quick, no problem. Standing there, boom, done. But the other one at one of the local places that apparently the system isn't as familiar with or trustworthy, even though they are, that turned into an absolute nightmare to where actually a human screwed that whole damn thing up. Because since the night before we'd had the issue at Murphy, USA, when it happened there, I was like, okay, simple call. We should knock it out, get it done. Well, that customer service rep decided that they would do that part. Is that being racist and stereotypical? I don't give a shit. Those Indian call centers suck and always have. I'm so opposed to that. That's one thing I'm rooting for the AI on. Kill the call centers. If you're an overseas call center, just get it done. Knock it off. Just stop it. We don't need it because it just a horrible, horrible thing that got implemented on us in society. Just terrible. Of all the lowest common denominator things that a corporation can keep in play, a call center in the country in which they operate should always be as local as possible. There's no nationalism, it's just common sense. Because if you can't understand what the person's saying and they can't understand what you're saying, that means you're not really communicating. And it's just anyway, that particular rep decided that, well, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cancel your card. No, don't do that. So it was not authorized. So we're going to look into certain things. They canceled the damn card, though, right there on the spot. It wasn't lost. It was a glitch on their end. Oh, it was a nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. So anyway, and I'm not even going to say we got it worked out because we got through it. And this is another reason for the holiday reset reboot because that sucked out loud. It was just, and it was ridiculous because of, and I'll say it, one dumb human, and then the follow-up human after the dumb one did what it did was no better. Maybe a little better, but not much. That was so frustrating. But again, we made it through it. Everything's all well and good. But that's where and that's the thing though for you, whoever you are, and if you happen to see this broadcast that does go out all or available all over the world, truth of the matter is this: you're going to be replaced by robots faster than anybody else because it's data entry, voice recognition, and they've already got all those things locked in, no problem. And we won't have that "thank you, come again" nonsense. You can say whatever you want about what I said there and how I said it. I don't really care. Truth is truth. So anyway. Oh yeah, the old retail experience, Gar, that was fantastic. It was like, and even in the moment, I know for me, I knew it was special. It was a thing. It was like when you would go to the Woolworth or any of hell, even Walmart back in the day when it was still new and fresh. You know, it was always an experience, and then it just phased out. And it was so funny the other night in this adventure of the holiday shopping season of 2025. um we were going to hit like some drive through somewhere just real quick, just kind of grab something, which we've done really good about not doing that anymore, or doing that very, very minimally. But it's so funny because again, and just being mindful of the changes that we've seen. uh, I got I got mad because all these damn boxes. They talk about big box stores. We get the little box stores. They just drop in and poof, instant retail location. And it gets on my damn nerves so bad because there's no style. There's nothing. At first, like when they first started popping up the little McDonald's in a box, boom, or the Seven Brew brought in two pieces on a truck, which I don't like Seven Brew anyway. Sorry, overrated. That's just my opinion. But anyway, they come in two parts on two diesel truck or two tractor trailers, wheel them in, plop, drop them down, connect them like Legos, voila. I mean, I appreciate the innovation, but here's the thing. If modern construction has evolved to the point where you can have these modular buildings and put them together on the scene super cheap, super fast, super easy, why not make them look cool? I mean, seriously, do something neat with it. Nope, we get a box. And here's the thing: this is where the conspiracy theories go running wild because it's so coordinated at a time. Like our downtown McDonald's here, Gar, and other folks not here. It was a cool old school like 70s, 80s or McDonald's layout. You know, it still looked like a McDonald's. And actually, I love that it'll look so much. I actually printed one. Dig this. Wanted to do a write-up on it. But anyway, I printed this one up. But yeah, our McDonald's look very similar to this particular style of McDonald's. See? McDonald's. It's inviting. It's fun. It was all by design to do that. But then once the local owner, the franchisee, he sold it back to the corporate, and then what do you get? A box. A gray, boring-ass box. Ugh. It's just, and then you look at all the other places that are the same. Oh, wait, hold on. Another prop. Gar, you'll appreciate this. Where you're doing your audio props or your audio cues and props and drops. Well, see, I got visual ones. Bang. Welcome to McDonald's. I'd like to take your order, but I'm stupid. Yeah. So anyway, but it's just a box and it's boring. It has no soul. It has no heart. It has no color. It has no warmth. Anyway, so for whatever reason that triggered in my head again when I was thinking about the options that we had. I was like, you know what? No, never mind. It just doesn't matter. Yeah, it just drives me crazy. Yeah, they took it all out, man. It sucked. Dollar General, same way. I mean, it just, and again, but now with Dollar Generals, they've never been like the most unique looking architecture. They've just kind of been, okay, it's Dollar General. Always normally kind of the ghetto side of things. Dollar General. Sort of like Fred's. This is the way I felt about Fred's forever. But that one's gone too now. But, oh my gosh. It happens. Yeah, okay. So there we go. But anyway, I need a rubber chicken-like thing. I need to do. We saw the original Horrible Horror rubber chicken here and the Garzoos. But they're safe and sound and packed up. So, but yeah, the original rubber chicken from Horrible Horror, we have those. That's awesome. Yeah. Hey, it's Thomas. Good morning, Thomas. I heard you're a little under the weather. Caitlin gave me the update because y'all were talking and you didn't talk to me, jerk. No, I understand, dude. It was Christmas. Everybody was doing their thing, but I hope you're feeling better now, buddy. You've been sick off and on. I shared that with the world. That's a HIPAA violation. Shit. No, I'm just playing. But I want you feeling better, buddy. We got to get together very, 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 very soon. Very, 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 very soon. Anyway. But yeah, no, so Thomas, if you're just now coming into the party again, I'm just ranting. This is the holiday recovery weekend. Since we've all been running since right before Thanksgiving. Well, I guess we've been running since Halloween, right? So it's time to actually take a 3-day weekend and enjoy life. Yes. Just need to. Plus, we all just need to reset. Yep. Good. The original. I'm glad. I can't imagine it not being in use. That's like one of the numerous fun things about Horrible Horror. Man, yeah, the Garzoo, and because that's one of the most you do so many endearing things, Gar, when it comes to your show, that it's just like everything. It's like it's so great. It just is. It's just because it has so much heart and things. Even the things that I can't even think of anything in particular. There's like, no, every bit of it. It's all got heart, and it's awesome. Well, good. I'm glad that fever broke, brother. I really, 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 really am. It makes me happy, happy, happy. And who knows? Well, let's see. Where is the calendar? See, Flip is great, but he's like a day-by-day thing, so I can't really look into the future too much without having to think. So, but let me look at the calendar. I want to see something. Oh, well, okay, so New Year's Day is the Thursday this coming week. Another reason to take the time to just enjoy this 3-day weekend if you can, to just relax. Just do it. And plus, I think it'd be safer because this has been also weird. Like a Tuesday felt like a Sunday, felt like a Friday, felt like a whatever. Got to get that was the Akkadian rhythm or circadian or whatever, that damn rhythm that's supposed to be inside of us. Yeah. Oh yeah, in winter, yeah, the temps are going to dump out. It's been like truly a spring, late spring going into summer weather pattern around here, which is great. I mean, I enjoyed it for the fact that when it came to like taking gifts from point A to point B and not freezing my us off or worry about slipping on the snow and ice. So in that part, I really enjoyed it. It didn't really have any issues with just enjoying a warm Christmas. I'm good with not the white stuff. But yeah, Monday though, here in the Ozarks region, we are looking to see a significant drop, but still not terrible. I mean, it's going to get down into like the mid 30s for like a day, but then I think it's going to like it would just kind of glide back up into the 40s and 50s again. So this is just one of those warm winter years. So it's not climate change, it's just one of those things that happens. So anyway, 841, 68 degrees. See, it's 68 at 841 in December. Okay, why not? Let's rock and roll. But it's been a fun rant conversation. But I don't know. It's just what we do, right? We have coffee and we ponder things, and it's fun. Cooties are certainly real, Gar. You know this, man. Remember that time we went on the safari to take out cooties? It was quite the adventure. It really was true. And then that one got stuck in your briefcase. Yeah, I don't know why you took a briefcase on a safari. We were supposed to have fun. But you had that damn briefcase, and that damn cootie got in there. I didn't know if we'd ever get back in the country, especially after the thing ate that guy at the TSA stand. But he had it coming. Because you know what? When you're only just following orders, that doesn't make you right. I'm just saying. So, freezing in Florida. My gosh, yeah. See, it's wild and wacky, and it's one of those things that the narrative is so screwed up. And as you may know, it's like 2026 is going to be the last year of the Farmer's Almanac. They're just killing the print. Not going to be anymore. I'm sure they're going to keep an online version, but that's something. I think this is how, like, the perhaps when it comes to like the incredible works of knowledge that were collected at Alexandria all got burned to the ground, and we got set back thousands and thousands of years in civilization because the physical books got burned up. Now they're just being digitized and replaced, and then just like in San Francisco, when the power goes down until they unleash that. I don't think we're going to see it next year though. As far as like the free energy thing, I don't think 2026 is going to be the year. I think they're going to start teasing the idea of what's happening with cold fusion or whatever else they want to get, mini nuclear things that you can have. But I don't think we're going to see anything of significance of that. But I think they are going to start the talking points and then start showing some demos, maybe roll one or two units out of a very high end cost. I think we're going to start seeing that this year, but I don't think we're actually going to see that get implemented. I think that's what we'll do next week. We'll do it. Let's do some predictions. So put on your thinking caps and let's do some predictions for the coming year. So it could be just funny, but really think about it. It's like, what do you think is going to happen next year that we're going to see? Oh, what about that? This surprised me last night. Merry Christmas, Nigeria! You had it coming. Didn't have that one on the bingo card. I really didn't. Now I did think, and I posted thusly on Twitter/X that within 48 hours of the latest Epstein drop or whatever, that we would be hitting Venezuela because Bill Clinton, a sex scandal, somebody's got to get bombed. Remember how we did that in the 90s, kids? That was so much fun. Every time Bill did something that was a little salacious, Iraq, we kicked the hell out of them. They did this. That's justified. Who? Monica? No. But so we had Bill Clinton back in with the sex scandal thing. So the way they positioned everything, that would be Venezuela. No, we had a bigger threat, Nigeria. I don't think we've ever locked up with Nigeria. But now again, this is not Nigeria, the government. Allegedly, according to the reports, that the Nigerian government was all on board about going in there against the ISIS folks. You would think a 70s live action Saturday morning thing wouldn't cause such a stink, but I guess she just got, ISIS, she just got cranky. If you're too young to get that reference, I didn't born you, so I have nothing to do with that, but it was great. But yes, the ability to change the channel on your TV by blinking your eyes. Some, I think, can actually do that already. because I know there are certain things you can do on your phones that where you can control certain functions with the blink. That's already there. Yep. Let's see here. Probably won't snow till February. Yeah, I think you're right, Thomas. And it's gonna be one of those late ones that like we're all gonna like coast through this first part of winter, la-di-da-di-da, easy peasy, and then it's gonna hit us right towards the end of winter and screw everything up for a week. I just hope we don't get. I think we're getting close. The last true, what I would call true ice storm we had was back in 2009, and that one was a monster because I mean I know we were knocked out of power for a week on that thing, so it'll be interesting to see. But again, I'd be kind of interested to kind of look at what's coming for 2026 because I do believe again with the AI agents, which I'm going to work on helping define these things better because they're starting to use these buzzwords and terms a lot more freer as if everybody's on board with what this means and we're not, you know. So I want to like start working on compiling definitions for this stuff so you'll know what's coming or you'll understand it when they say it. Sort of like with it, and I equate it to this all 100%. I mean, they've got to get it in to the lexicon, and people have to just start getting used to certain terms and phrases. But I think if this one's just moving so fast that they just really don't care. You're either going to catch up or fall off the truck, right? But I'm going to work on that so you have a better understanding of what certain things mean. And I'm going to say, again, I'm not a guru. I just know how to use this crap. And in using this crap, I'm going to use it before it can totally use me. And I'm going to encourage you to do the same because there is no stopping this machine because it's about money. Back to Nigeria. Yeah, so apparently the Nigerian government was like totally cool with the U.S. targeting these ISIS terrorist facilities. And I'm not taking up for any group at all, period, when it comes to that. I do know our military is very good at being able to do like straight up surgical strikes wherever they want. And that's good. That's why we have a military that there's a military that if you got to use it, you want to be the best of the best of the best, sir. But you absolutely, you know, I don't know, but Nigeria, I just didn't see that one coming. Uh, yes, that's true. ISIS and Captain believe Captain Marvel are in the same continuum. Yeah, and that was fun. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Thomas. See, you're the youngest guy in the room right now, and you're willing to take those chances and those risks because you know you're a hero like that. I remember being in your shoes. I do. I remember those times, and I salute you, sir. But yeah, yeah, the Hunger Games. I've never watched it. That's another one. The hype was too big. Remember when the books came out and reading fiction, not really my thing. I've definitely, unfortunately, turned myself into way too much of a nonfiction reader. Um, so I want to. I think that'll be like one of those things I put on the list to do. To find one fiction book or series and commit to it for 2026. I need that break, that form of entertainment. But I also I kind of like steered away from reading fiction because in writing fiction, I didn't want things to influence what I was writing. Because I like the stories were already there. I'm not telling them, and I didn't want to accidentally find myself pulling stuff from other influences that I didn't want, you know. So that's why I just but I do the nonfiction stuff and then boy, that can impact you too. But it's a little different. A little different. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, Nigeria. Good luck. Nigerian ISIS people. Because again, we've got the greatest military on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. That's not even just patriotism. It's just a fact. I'm always confused about that in some ways because how all the politicians, regardless of party, will talk about military funding either being not enough or too much, but then they do it one way or the other, but then say they need more. It's like, well, and I understand things wear out. You got to keep, you know, they're always test driving these things, going on drills and runs. So things still do get wore out before actual need usage. But I don't know. It's just kind of it's just weird conversation. But I have no doubt in my mind that the military tech that the United States branches have is thing they have the things we don't know anything about. Firmly convinced of that. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I think the Hunger Games they were all like kind of in that whole that the Twilight era and Vampire Diaries on TV, all that stuff was just part of what was the entertainment zeitgeist of the time. But I never did get into it. It just never. I could tell it was definitely a young adult thing, which is I'm totally cool with. Twilight, Alicia got into, so I got into. Not going to say that's good. Not going to say that's bad. Again, everybody's got their own things. But the day that I saw that the way they were portraying vampires for the modern era is that, oh, they could be in the sun, but they'll just sparkle and twinkle so people will know they're vampires. Okay, that's clever. Never thought of that before. However, really? It's like they were all, instead of like being born at some point at a hospital, they were all born at a Claire's Jewelry in the Hello Kitty section with extra sprinkles and sparkles. I don't know. That was fun. But I don't know. Some of the acting was really good in those flicks. Most of it wasn't. I mean, in my opinion. But then the day that I realized what was going on with, like, one of the main protagonists there with Bella, and and her and Edward, of course, being like, and Jacob, the trio thing. Anyway, but the Bella thing that got on my nerves. And then when I finally realized what happened, I'm like, dude, that was brilliant. You're stupid. Shut up. You're not smart. But with Bella, the way she did the breathing thing in the first, oh my God, Edward, all that, right? That was so annoying until I realized what they did. And of course, I didn't get it until after they wrapped the thing and they did the two-part last movie in the series. But I didn't get it until that. At the time, I didn't get it. God, we're just so stupid. But you get to that last one after she's been converted into a vampire, that goes away. Why? Because she didn't breathe anymore. I didn't get that until after the fact. Yeah, and it was actually, as far as like being able to portray that in a different way on screen, when you've got the her breathing thing, her pacing, it was so over the top, annoying, and but it made perfect sense once you realized what they were doing. That was the best way that I could think of, in hindsight, to be able to the whole thing to show that she's not breathing anymore. There are no breath marks because there's no breath. They're dead. They're vampires. Ah, damn, that was brilliant. Yeah, and the wolf transformations, man, those were great. Those really were. They were fun. Some of them looked a little, a little too CGI. And the only reason I even say that because I'm not gonna hate on anybody for that when it comes to it looks too much like a video game. Well, it kind of is, dude. And still very impressive on the whole. But there you go. Yeah, and like the TV stuff, I think was better, like Angel and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which the series would definitely outshine the original film that inspired the series. Um, yeah, see, but again, it's like that's the trade-off, and again, Thomas, with you being a younger guy in the room and a younger perspective on things, and now for everybody who doesn't know Thomas is my buddy, my pal, and we break bread and have great conversations in times. But he's also a film nut. He really loves movies, right? Um, and he also likes it when I violate his HIPAA protections. So everybody was sick. Damn, I did it again. No, I'm not. Anyway, moving on. But again, to have his set of eyes on things versus my older set of eyes on things is always a wonderful conversation because I learned so much from him. And because again, I see it through our old guy lenses. But when you listen to the younger generation say, "What? It's not this," you go, "Oh," and it opens your eyes up. So, but now the revelation when it comes to Bella and her breathing thing, that was something that jumped out of my own head because I just thought that was once I thought about it, just to be able to show the alive Bella versus the dead vampire Bella. That was smart, man. Damn, that was smart. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, and that's like with the series stuff like Supernatural. Alicia has loved the show forever. Smallville, same thing. And I gotta say that those production houses that created those two series, they did such a great job. And that television industry that really blew up in Toronto, where most all that stuff was filmed, they did great. Because again, you wouldn't even know they weren't in America. They were in Canada. Wow. I love that type of stuff. It just goes to show also, we're all, kind of the same on things. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it's 8:55, the day after Christmas. Only 364 days to get all your Christmas shopping done once again. You can get a jump on it now because everything is going to be a whole lot more affordable. Because why? We're suckers. And but take advantage of being a sucker. Own it. You can save a lot of money, right? There you go. But let's get out of here. Let's go have a day. Well, let's have a weekend. Like I said, we're going to have coffee every morning, 8 o'clock, just because we can, and talk about things and ideas and stuff. And I'd actually, one of the things that'd be cool is like, if you, whatever AI questions you have, I'm not saying I have the answer, but I'd be more than willing to like round up the answers. It's like if you've heard a term like AI agent, that's the big one on me. I've heard the term, I've kind of sort of played with that whole thing, but I don't truly understand it. So I know that's going to be one of the things on the list as far as understanding what an AI agent is, how to use it, and how to use it with purpose and intent so it actually has a benefit, you know. But anyway, those questions, we'll talk about those. I'll go do the homework on it. I like doing that stuff. That's the old reporter in me that likes digging up the facts. And with all the tools that we have, there you go. I'd like to have fun. Anyway, let's rock this up, lock it down. 3 away from the 9 o'clock hour. It's almost 70 degrees in the Ozarks. Florida's about to freeze, man. And it's Friday, so tomorrow night, mark it on your calendar to go watch Horrible Horror with Gar the Ghoul on Twitch TV. And Damien, thank you, buddy. Thomas, thank you, buddy. Everybody else who's not commenting everything, start chiming in. It's good conversation. You get to meet some really awesome folks that you never know what'll come from that. But I guarantee you it'll be awesome.